What's up, everybody? It's Sanelse. So, UFC St. Louis has come by. We've seen some decent things and horrible things that happened during the event. One of the biggest stories that I don't know if it's come out yet, but it's kind of being discussed around social media is the fraud alert of Robelis Despaigne. So, this is a freakish athlete, another one for Cuba that, for all we know, was cloned in a lab or something. The guy with Kevin Raymond haircut and the freakish reach that John Jones would blush about. So, let's just say I did not see it coming the way it did, but you know what? This is what the UFC is all about. We find out if you're a top contender or if you're not meant for this league, at least not in the way you'd hope. So, the first thing I want to say is congrats to Waldo Acosta. I hate your showboating. You're a boring fighter, but you did what you had to do to survive the fight, so I respect that. I just wanted to be upfront and say that first. But there's a couple of things I want to say about Robelis Despaigne that kind of has made me dawn about a lot of things and why I wanted to make a video about this. I don't think I've ever seen a hype train of this caliber of athlete ever gone down this fast and fallen from grace. I mean, we have your medalists of many different shapes that are gold, silver, and bronze that have never taken a plunge like this before. We have seen hype trains like Joe Pizer of this year fall to Jack Hermanson. We've seen things like Darren Till broken once he got into a title shot with someone really good. Or even cases like Pan Van Zandt, Sage Northcutt. There's a lot of people you could listen to this. There's probably a whole big video of people. I mean, Uriah Hall never made to the expectations we expected to. But the point I kind of want to bring up is the fact that this is not someone who beat some top 10 athlete within our sport. This is another slob of a man who, let's be honest, the heavyweights are not that impressive in the first place. And it's kind of pathetic that a guy with this kind of skill in Taekwondo flubbed his shot so much. It was so disastrous of how he swung. I got pictures of Francis against Rosenstrike when he basically tried going Donkey Kong on his ass, swinging those fists the way he did. But, remember that he didn't use his distance management as he should have. You'd think someone with Taekwondo techniques would be able to do that. And I think the most horrifying thing is seeing just how bad he is on the ground. I mean, the guy's 5 fights in MMA. We've seen basically he's taken everyone out within 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The shortest span, I think his average was 19 seconds for all his fights. And it goes to show you, against lesser competition, he could scare them off with his size and his pedigree in striking, or apparent pedigree of striking, I guess you should say. But I think it says a lot to show you that not every fighter, just because you have a medal, means you're ready for the UFC. And I think this is where moments like Contender Series and The Ultimate Fighter were very useful to helping these kind of people out. This is someone who, now that we've seen hindsight, probably belongs in the regional scene, but it goes to show you, and I definitely want to make a future video of this, showing the stagnation of heavyweights, the fact that we were so excited for this guy, hoping he was going to do something special, and I'll be honest, I was very disappointed. I put money on him. He failed me immensely, but that's not the main reason I'm making this video. I just figure it's one of the reasons. If you see to it and you feel free to pause the screen when you look at this, there was a bunch of fighters who had a lot of comments to say about what's just transgressed around us. And let's just say that I really don't know where this guy is going to go, but he went from future contender to, well, back of the heap for almost every single heavyweight, let's be honest. A lot of heavyweights already have very subpar grappling skills as it is, where there's knockout power is the most reliant thing about them. Despaigne does have the Taekwondo and the size to help him get past some of these hardships, but he's definitely going to have to really work on it now. I don't know who you put him against next, but if the UFC is trying to maximize the profits from this individual, they're going to want to make sure they get someone with even crappier grappling so that way they can build him up, let him take some time to make himself a stronger fighter. But as of right now, I could not tell you who they put him against. If he would have gone past here, I might have suggested someone like a Rosenstrike or something if you really want to catapult the man. But now, seeing that what we have seen, I'd be afraid to put him against anybody who might just try to grapple with him because he was flailing. He didn't show any kind of skill. He just stalled the clock and just gave up almost. It was a miracle he didn't get finished, to be honest with you. But it kind of reminds me of this whole situation with Jolton Almeida, that he showed up, he was beating competition, the worst of the worst of the competition. He was getting progressively better, but then once he ran into someone like Curtis Blade, so to be honest, Curtis Blade is a top 5 athlete in that division, so it's like no disparaging marks about him. But even we saw that his follies against him ended up getting him KO'd because of it, and even Derek Lewis, who, again, not one of the greatest athletes, but he at least has some grappling on his side, and he is a good striker for the most part. And we saw he couldn't take him out for 25 minutes, so it kind of got exposed from there. But this is kind of a short video. I just kind of wanted to ramble on. I want to see in the comments, what do you guys think is next for this man? Obviously, they ain't going to just kick him out of the UFC from one fight, especially since it's not like he got finished. He was just boring with a 3-rounder. I think Dana will be very selective of who they put him against next. But you know what? This is not a giant analytical video. I just kind of wanted to mention this. I think this is one of the biggest hype trains we've ever seen crash before. And hopefully he shows up next time. At least that's the hope. Anyway, thank you guys for showing up, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.